Turning now to your community focus. 42 attorneys general, including those from Rhode Island and Massachusetts, are taking Meta to court, accusing the parent company of Facebook and Instagram of knowingly designing and using harmful features meant to addict kids and teens. Joining me now to discuss ways parents can educate themselves and protect their kids, Jill Shah, the president of the Shah Family Foundation. Thanks so much for being here at 4.
Hi, Kim. Thank you. Thanks for having me.
So, Jill, just to get our viewers up to speed, the foundation is based in Massachusetts, and I know you focus on wellness and education, and you've just launched this new resource to sort of help us all navigate the world of social media. Tell us what it is.
Right, Kim. So thank you for sharing this with your viewers. We really appreciate it. The website is called Your Brain on Social Media, and it is available at www.yourbrainonsocialmedia.org. And it is a tool for parents and for kids, also for any caregivers, to learn more about social media, understand what is bad about social media, what is good about social media, but really kind of give parents context for how they talk to their kids about social media, and also what's happening in the world around them. Like you said, there are a number of lawsuits right now against Meta and against TikTok. And so this also helps parents really investigate the truth behind those things and what's happening in the world.
Yeah, why did you decide to focus on social media in particular and create this website?
Well, Kim, I'm a mom also, and I have 2 kids. And so I think it started there, and it started conversations within our foundation about wellness and kids and the rising mental health crisis. And lots of experts that we talked to said, part of the problem is social media, and they showed us a lot of data that was supportive of that. And of course, there's lots of pushback, and there's not everything wrong with social media. It's much more contextually how social media is being used, and that's what we try to drill into. So we did a lot of research at the foundation. We started to understand why and where it's problematic, but we realized that this is a really hard problem for parents to understand. And so we created the tool so that they have a one-stop shop sort of place to start to understand how do I talk to my child? Should I be worried? What should I be worried about? Are my kids worried about social media? Quite honestly, it's not just parents who are concerned about social media use, it's kids too. And so we try to provide a forum of fact-based information that guides parents in having those conversations and really getting to true data about, the issues with social media and its use by kids.
Yeah, you mentioned fact-based information and true data. We know there is a lot of conflicting information out there about social media. Some of it, frankly, isn't accurate. So why should people trust this site to have the best info?
That's such a good question. So the Shah Foundation employs lots of folks who are great at research and analysis and understanding different credentialed material. And so we've spent a lot of time looking at what is written about social media, doing fact checking, understanding the credentials of folks who are writing these pieces, and looking at research as well. And so we put onto this site, and the site changes every day. There's more and more information coming out daily, but we put onto the site what we would want to know, and we make sure that all of that information is trusted. It has trusted sources behind it.
And Jill, you mentioned you're a mom yourself. What's one of your biggest takeaways you've learned as you've worked on this project?
I mean, my biggest takeaway, quite honestly, and I'm a little bit older than you, and my, kids are now at, high school and college, is that personally, I would not have my kids on social media before the age of 16 or 17 because of the way brains develop. But what has been particularly surprising to me in talking about social media is that our kids are as concerned as parents are. And probably the most important thing to do is to understand and think about, why are you worried if you're worried? And really be specific about those things that you can have a valid conversation with your kids about their social media use and what they're worried about, what you're worried about, and what the outcomes are that you both want to have. It's a new tool. We all know how to talk to our kids, I think, about drugs and alcohol and things like that. Social media, none of us know enough about it and its impact on our brains. And so this site aims to help parents and kids talk about this in a way that's very valid and educated.
An important conversation to have. All right, Jill Shah, the president of the Shah Family Foundation, thanks so much for being here.
Thank you, Cam. I appreciate it.